to officially open the game challenge. So I promise you this is going to be really exciting because we have a special guest to my left, to my right.
Hello.
No, that's my left, yeah. And we will be explaining the challenge to you guys. So this is going to be good. Quick introduction. My name is Hangna Koh, and I am one of the creative directors at Loftwork. Before we dive in, I just wanted to quickly explain to you briefly about this Future City campaign. And it's just launched last week, and it's a newest campaign led by Loftwork. And we look into what life may look like after the COVID-19. And we look into new possibilities, discussing if it'll ever be the same again. So make sure you send in some questions if you have any. I'll pick some good ones out, and we'll make sure to answer them at the end of the talk. So I hope everyone's joining in now slowly. It's been 1 minute. Actually, I can't even check if anyone's watching. So for those of you that are just joining us now, just explain that this campaign was looking into how we look into life after the coronavirus. And our first track is focused on education, where I have proposed this challenge to you guys. So to explain briefly about this challenge, we are challenging you to create a way we can learn gamification. So it's a big word, I know, but it just means bringing elements of games into something. Elements of games like motivation, rules, rewards that games have into something that doesn't. So we're looking for a gamified product or project that is tangible to learn offline. So without further ado, I will introduce Thibaut. He's actually a friend of mine from uni, and we haven't met for a couple of years. But yeah, he's joining in from London. Good afternoon.
Hey.
How are you? How is everything over there?
Yeah, I guess London is like everywhere in the world, so hardcore lockdown mode. So yeah, I'm in my bedroom where I've been living and working for the past 5 weeks now.
That's good.
Very excited to be here.
No, over here as well. So Thibaut is a creative technologist at FITCH. He's French, and he is the creator of digital bricks that you guys have seen already. So tell us a bit about yourself and the project. How did you come up with the idea?
Yeah, so just a bit of background info to begin with. As you said, I'm Thibaut. I'm a designer and creative technologist. I'm originally French, but I've been in London for the past 4 years I originally went there to do my MA at the Royal College of Art. And nowadays I'm working as a creative technologist in a company called FITCH. So basically we focused on doing retail design, and my day-to-day job relates a lot to discovering emerging technologies and trying to find ways to make experiences out of them.
Right. Can I show them a quick picture as you're talking?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is digital bricks. Digital bricks is the largest project I've been doing at the Royal College of Art. And the idea behind this project was to create a tangible interface for artists and designers to learn coding in a hands-on way. And the reason for this is that when I went to RSCA, I started hanging out with a lot of creatives and artists and designers, and most of them were really interested in programming, but it was really hard for them to engage with it. So like the first step was very difficult. But it makes sense because programming when you first look at it, it looks really boring. The interfaces don't look intuitive, and it's not nowhere near the way artists and designers learn and work. And so basically, can you show the video now, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so basically what it is a programming language made out of Lego. So the idea is that you place different Legos on a board, and then it scans as an image, and you can see some code appearing, and you can see a visual output from the code you generated. And the idea is to give it a tangibility to programming and approach it like something that's much more about materiality and experimentation rather than a scientific learning journey.
Yeah. So this is essentially made to be played offline, right?
Yeah. This experience is, I mean.
Yeah. So what made you like want to make something to be played offline?
Well, I think in this case, the offline factor comes with the fact that I wanted to create an experience that was catered to artists and designers. And the way we artists and designers experience things are much more based on multi-sensorial data, so involving more than one sense. And in that way, using a tangible interface was really important for me. And also I used a digital one, obviously, because code is something digital in its essence.
Yeah, true. So we want to keep in mind, audience, that this challenge is it's really open and broad. So digital bricks, it's not a game, is it? But it uses gamification and it's tangible, and you can just essentially learn how to code offline. And so it's actually really fun to play, which is really important, I think, for this factor. Do you know what I really like about your game, Thibaut? It's really open-ended play. I played it a few times before, and I think I was one of your good audiences back then. I had no idea how to code. I remember it being really rewarding and satisfying using Lego, because it was something that I was fairly familiar with, learning something that I was not familiar with. Is that why you chose Lego?
I'd like to say yes, but the truth is no, not really. I first started using Lego as part of this project when I was trying to research how I could create an analogy for programming with a physical medium, basically.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
And what I did, I did a series of workshops where I would ask people to use Lego to create their own tools.
I remember that. Yeah.
And the reason for that is that it was really easy because everyone knew how Lego worked. And on my end of things, I was sure that I was getting the same type of output every time. So it was a really, really easy way for me to steer things. And then when I went to the making step of my project, and when I thought about, okay, how do I make an experience out of this? Then Lego just became the best option because everyone knows how it works. It's very simple bricks. It involves colors and shapes. It really relates to language. You can create grammar out of it if you want to. And so it became the perfect tool. And also from a learning perspective, I feel like, we all learn something from using Lego. So using Lego again automatically places you in that kind of environment where you want to figure things out.
No, for sure. No, I completely agree. On the topic of learning, what are your thoughts on how we might learn after this COVID-19? For example, for me, my biggest concern is when I thought about how we get older, whether or not actually that this coronavirus would even be a part of this reason. But I feel like as we get older, we lose our attitude, become this playful attitude, this imagination part of ourselves. And feeling like we have to know everything and feel embarrassed when we don't. And personally, I wish I had learned those things when I was younger at school and even outside of school. And this coronavirus is not helping. Even at this age, I feel more closed in while I somehow try and collaborate with new team members and have every single meeting and conversation through a screen. And I've just been searching pretty much desperately how to get away from the screen. I feel like tangible things and when I are good. And when I think about gamification to learn something, I feel like it can help us learn about ourselves and how we cope, maybe. And if it's through play and kind of play, I feel like it can kind of distance myself from like the seriousness of life. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, I totally agree with you. It can, like, being with the environment and state of things right now, it can be like really tough
Yeah.
to collaborate with people, and
So tough. I don't know how people do it these days.
yeah. I mean, in my specific case, I'm working, especially like I'm working a lot alone rather than
Right.
collaborating with people, because I'm making, quick prototypes. But I can
Mm.
definitely feel some parts where actually being at home and doing everything online makes things easier, and
Yeah.
some other parts where it brings some kind of friction. But I think the lockdown in that sense is quite an interesting time, because we get the chance to, everyone has to be online for learning, for working. And so we can see that we can actually do a lot of it online and a lot of it works, but we can also see
Yeah.
some stuff that doesn't work. And in that
Exactly.
sense, I would love to see something happening that would be similar to what happened to painting when photography came in. So when photography came in, painting was not the most accurate way of representing things.
Right.
And therefore, painters, to basically survive, had to find another way to do painting. And they started experimenting, and all this
Yeah.
rich experimentation came out, and they created something
Yeah.
that couldn't be done with photographs.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, I would love to see some stuff happening where we actually understand what real value can we get out of um, um, non-digital interaction, and take profit of that.
I'd love to. I can't wait for these entries, actually.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
It's gonna be good.
Mhm.
I just touching on that point with your the painting and photography. I just feel like I hope we can see something that we can learn through merging and evolving into something new with the time we have now to actually like reflect. I feel like I have a lot of time like that now these days. Because we should be proactive about things like this and creating before it happens. And with this challenge, we can explore what can be done with learning, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's why we touched on gamification. I think it really connects gamification and education, learning in particular. So, Thibaut, if someone asked you what is meaningful gamification, what would you say?
Um,
What's meaningful? There's so many factors. Hey.
I think in an experience of learning, meaningful gamification would be finding, like, applying the right game principles to your experience. So for
Yeah.
example, in learning, like between learning and games, to me,
Mhm.
three of the factors that you could relate together between those two disciplines would be like having the right difficulty, because if it's too easy, people
Mm,
go hard. If it's too hard, people get frustrated.
you're
Um,
right.
and another one would be wait, I'm going to find it again.
No worries.
Yeah, that basically you need to find the right analogy. So
Yeah,
to go back to
for sure.
digital bricks, Lego really ended up being the right analogy, because
Mm,
it took all that complexity that you see when you look at code and bring it
yeah,
down to something very easy, but that essentially works
yeah,
the same way. So it's different systems, but one of them seems much
true.
more simple than the other one.
I know. I love how you actually use Lego like that. Like when I used it, I just felt like it was the perfect match. Like you always had the idea.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me using Lego was also because I wanted to have fun with it myself,
Yeah,
and create my own weird little experiments. Uh,
yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
that's a
other
good idea.
people had fun with it as well, which I
Yeah, I
mean,
remember the final show. Everyone was playing with it.
yeah.
That was so
And it's
nice.
funny because at the show, it almost became something else than what it was supposed to be.
What do you mean?
This is designed as a learning experience, but
Yeah,
during the show, you only could spend, I don't know, there was hundreds of things to see. So you
yeah,
could only spend like maybe 1-2 minutes on this. And most
true.
people were just, experimenting, placing bricks, pressing buttons,
Yeah.
and seeing things change. And in that
Mhm.
sense, having people interacting with it and seeing how easy it was for everyone to just go to it and interact was
Yeah.
amazing to me.
Yeah, and yeah. Do you know what I reckon? Like games like yours, it really makes it's this like common ground that we can all enter in at once, like no matter like who you are, where you're from. I just feel like game is just like we all have to learn the same rules. We all have this one board or whatever, this one thing that we're going to be playing together, you know? And I just feel like it's like friendship and communication. And I think I put on the website as well, but it's like this freedom of being able to like do it yourself instead of someone telling you to. And I think that's such a good way to learn as well. Like you want to play this game. I think it's so nice like that. And it just amplifies like every individual.
And also I think being offline makes a lot of sense in that way, because when you're offline, you don't only remember the game itself or the experience, but there's all the sensory things that are related to them. So, you know, maybe if you're doing a learning experience, maybe you have a conversation with someone as part of this experience. Maybe you remember the texture of some of the objects you manipulated.
Senses.
All of this contribute to you remembering things, basically.
Yeah.
The more senses, the more learning you do, I believe.
That's true. I think so. And we can remember things more as well, I feel like. Well, that's me. And it's like games are unpredictable as well. I feel like you never know what move the next person's going to do. I think it brings about curiosity, and like that motivates people, doesn't it?
It's kind of learning through making, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of learning through just, you know, reading and trying to remember.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we all want to have fun, to do anything. Yeah. You know, I just remember something. We once talked about this when we were in school. That possibly, this is 2 years ago, hey, like that I didn't think that the job that I wanted existed yet. And I feel like we don't, and maybe the children like now don't know in the future, like what kind of jobs they want either, you know? And I just feel like maybe that's what we need to be learning, maybe not just remembering and searching things online and how to do things like you just mentioned. And like, maybe it's more about like imagination and creativity and communication skills and trial and error. Like don't be afraid to do that, you know? So and just do it differently. Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking about what kind of game I would make. Yeah.
I guess if I were to take the challenge, I would do probably something for myself first and then try to expand it.
Yeah.
Because I guess
you have to love it. You have to love it, don't you?
Yeah. And also in a way in order to design an experience, you need to focus on someone or something that you're designing for. And in these times, it's the perfect time to kind of focus a bit on yourself and people around you, and
especially at this time.
Yeah.
So, you know, okay, well, Thibaut, where do our audience start then? Let's just give them some tips, I reckon, on how to start. Because there might not be like designers out there. What if like they want to start from scratch? They just like education. They like the idea of this whole thing. What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, maybe I'm going to talk a little bit about my mistakes, the mistakes I did with digital bricks.
All right.
Here
we go.
Yeah, maybe that's going to be helpful to someone out there.
I think so. I want to know.
So first and biggest mistake I did with digital bricks was when I started the project, I wanted to create a tool for tangible coding that was made for everyone to engage with. So taking everyone as the audience you designed the thing for is not helping, because it just slows you down, because you're constantly trying to find the best way of doing things when you don't really know who you're doing it for, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Wait, I'm just gonna change the photo actually, because that was to the video. Hey, sorry.
So my advice on that would be select an audience that you know and you can test with very easily. So if you're on your own, then you're your best audience. If you live with your family, then maybe one of your family members is the best audience, and try to find something that you enjoy and you would like either to learn or to teach someone. And then the design process almost can become just something about iterating, like doing a very quick prototype, trying it out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. To me, I mean, that's a way of working. It's not the way.
Yeah, I mean, iteration is so important, I think. It's got to keep trying.
Yeah, and it makes it, I think it keeps a project from being boring when you're making it. Because you're always, doing physical stuff, and you're always like trying things out, and you're constantly learning yourself about how you can teach people. And it makes it a very enriching experience just to design.
That's true. What about like the different styles of learning? How would they incorporate that? Like, like if it's going to be just visual, or if it's like, what about very logic based? I don't know. How would they incorporate that? I guess it's like what you want to teach your users. Hey.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can combine them too. Hey, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I think the key component, like to me, the key of that is finding the right analogy. Because when you're trying to translate something that you need to learn into a game, you need to find, analogies and mechanics. And the ways you're going to engage with the content, whether it's only visual, whether it's through hearing, whether, any way that could be, needs to suit the analogy or the mechanics that you're putting together for your game.
Yeah, that's true. Also, like location. Like, is it outside? Is it inside?
Yeah.
Number of players as well. They could have all that. I don't know if you mentioned it, but yeah.
And the best way to know is to try it out.
Yeah. Okay, so audience, just to submit, just going back to this challenge, brainstorm and tell us the concept and aim for your idea, or maybe you have one already, so you can submit that if you want to. And it'll be seen by all of our creators and manufacturers and producers and everyone on through our website. So it'll be good. It'll be good. I think I'm going to submit as well. The deadline is in a month, so May 24th. It's on a Sunday, 2020. We'll give you until like Japan time 0:00. Just a few last words. I think okay, well, it's 22 minutes now. We're gonna wrap up. I think just a few words. I think personally, uncertainty like drives me mad. I don't know if everyone drives you mad, but with this coronavirus, we have to change our mindset, I feel like, and this is a marathon, this whole thing that we're going through together, and we have to emotionally prepare for this. And I think this game is a good start, this challenge. I guess all in all, this challenge is just to try and break away from the digital world, online mostly. That's why I guess we just wanted to try this whole offline thing. I hear a thing over there. I think games will always have its place. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, and I feel like it's a weird time, and we can definitely take advantage of it to do meaningful things. And I feel like in the context of this challenge, there's a lot that can be done. And even if it's not, for the submission of the challenge, but I think by trying to teach someone something in this context of this game, you'd actually be able to learn a lot more than you're going to be able to teach, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. Yeah, I think so too.
So, yeah, it's a fun. It's about fun. It's about engaging, and it's about learning and teaching and sharing, which is what we need right now. I feel
that's the most important part. I really think that the whole fun thing is really important, and no matter what age you are, like this is not just for children. Games aren't just for children, are they? Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. No, games is for everyone. Everyone should have fun. Learning should always be fun.
Yeah. And any age, it really doesn't matter, does it? I really feel like when I hear the word games, it's really like, until 6 years old, or like, something to do when you're only bored or something. But no, it can actually be to learn something. And there's like quite a few projects that are happening right now, I think, from like other companies, like I think like Lego and who was it? Dyson, Foster and Partners started doing offline games. Yeah. I think
there's a lot of stuff. But even for I investigated a bit like educative technology for digital bricks, and there's a lot of things being done, but a lot of it is actually for kids.
Right.
But that's something I totally disagree with. Like, learning should be fun for anyone, whether you're a kid or an adult.
Yeah.
You learn
And that'll
better
open
when
way more. Yeah, and it'll open way more ways on like how you can even submit to this challenge, I think.
Mhm.
And as you said before, think about you as an audience. You have to love it. People will love it if you love it.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I think so too. I think so. Okay, so apparently we have a question, but I can't really see it. Like every time I try to see it, the Wi-Fi goes a bit bad, and I think that's why I've been lagging.
I can see it. Do you want me to read it?
You can see it? How do you see it? Okay, maybe because I'm on the... All right, what was the question?
The challenge is to design an offline game for learning. How little are game learning and offline? If the game is only partly online, if the game is only partly online or partly related to education, is it fine?
Yeah. What do you think, Thibaut? I think so.
I mean, I'm not the person who made the challenge, but...
Yeah. Wait, so the challenge is to design an offline game. Sorry?
Sorry? To me, the challenge is really about just designing a learning experience that is fun. And if it's a fun learning experience, and if it has a part of challenge, and it becomes a game.
That's true. The whole it can be part learning, part game. I feel like it's gamification is making a game fun to learn, right? But the challenge is to not partly do it offline or online. I think offline is what we're looking for. And that's the reason why is because that's hard. That is not easy to come up with.
So no part of the game should be online.
Yeah, it's officially to be played offline. That's the one rule. But as you know how you made yours online, but it can be played offline, that's fine.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So it can contain parts of digital technology.
Of course,
but
of course.
the
We're not
learning
saying
experience itself must not be based on...
And also, just be creative what you think offline learning means as well. There's no right or wrong for this challenge.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I think we're just excited to see what kind of ideas people can come up with the rules that we have. They're not actually rules, though. They're just guidelines to make a cool offline, be innovative, and make a cool game. I can't wait to see the entries. It's going to be good. I can't even imagine what kind of games people are going to make.
Yeah, looking forward to it too.
Yeah. So the deadline, again, guys, is the 24th of May. You have a whole month. Actually, no, a little bit less than a month, but it's okay. So we're actually towards the end. It's been 28 minutes now. We have 2 minutes. We're just going to wrap up very, very quickly. Thibaut, thank you so much for your time today. What time is it over there? Is it noon?
It is 1:30 now.
Okay.
1 p.m.
Well, thank you so much. It's almost 10 here. Thank you so much for being with us today. It really, I think our audience can realize more what this game challenge is actually about and more motivation, I feel like. And I know you're so busy. Thank you so much.
Thank you a lot for inviting me. It's
no worries. And if everyone, sorry, wait, say it again.
It's a pleasure to talk about this project and education anytime.
I'm glad we got to talk about this project again. Yeah, it's good. All right. Well, we are really gonna wrap up now. We have 30 seconds. Okay, well, stay safe in London. Everyone that joined, thank you so much for your time. I know you're all busy, but stay safe, stay home, stop going about. Japan is crazy. Everyone is still going out. What about London? Is everyone still going out? Is everyone staying at home?
Well, today the weather is not amazing, so not too much, but yeah.
When is it ever amazing weather?
Everyone's outside. Everyone's in the park.
Okay. Well, everyone stay home. Try out this
Don't
challenge, and we are waiting for your entries. All right?
All right.
All right. Okay, I will see you
Bye.
soon. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.